Armap.tv. Here we are with Steven Music, founder of Celeste Prize. Steven, what is Celeste Prize?
Yeah, Celeste Prize is an annual contemporary art prize that was founded in 2009, but it was born out of a project that we established in Italy in 2004. So we've had a certain amount of experience in organizing our prize in Italy, and then in 2009 we decided to open it up to an international audience of artists.
How does one become a part of the Celeste network?
Celeste Network is like many other networks. There are some also in the art world where anyone can sign up free. One doesn't necessarily have to be an artist, but you can be a gallerist, you can be a collector, a critic, a curator. One signs up free, and then one can spend most of one's time just meeting people with like-minded ideas who share common interests. You can make contact, develop projects, let people know what you're up to, find people to help you with your work, with setting up exhibitions, if you want to find a translator or someone who can carry stuff from one place to another. But also within the network, and the primary function of it was to support those artists that decided to join the prize. So the network is kind of born out of the activities of the prize. The prize was always the center of our proposition to promote artists. So now the network, for all those artists that decide to join the prize, is a place where they can let themselves be known and their work be known in a much more open way. So the two basically feed off each other now. We have presently in the network just over 40,000 members, and we have maybe 7,000 or 8,000 visits a day, and we have a lot of people communicating within the network.
Why did you need to build a new network? What is peculiar in Celeste Prize?
Right, when we began the prize in Italy, and then obviously brought the activities in the international sphere, I think the two important things made us unique, and I think legitimated us with many artists. What we asked international curators, and not just 3 or 4 in a committee to decide finalists. We asked 10 to 15 curators to choose 20 works from those that are proposed to the prize and publicly declare which 20 works they are. Therefore, we have 15 curators who tell everyone which choices they've made, and then with a simple arithmetic majority principle, we discover who's going to be in the final. And so this open process has legitimated artists' activity in the network and in the prize, and therefore that's why we have a lot of people joining, because everyone knows exactly who chose whom and how they got to the final. And that was very unique. The next thing that we did that I think enfranchised artists a lot and made it very interesting for them to come to the prize, and still does, is the fact that they themselves, the 40 finalists that are chosen by the critics and curators in this majority principle manner, well, at the final, the artists decide the prize money. And we have 20,000 euros prize money on the international prize and 20,000 on the Italian. So there's a lot of interest. With the final nights of a packed full of people, the 40 artists come with their friends and all their contacts, and because they know they're voting the prizes that night. So those two things have made the prize and the network very open, very participated, and hence in some ways very popular, without the quality of work falling, because we have a very strong team of international curators who guarantee in their choices a strong finalist selection. So good artists at all levels are always interested in being in a group of good artists.
What are the most active artistic realities that you have met?
Well, the most active in numerical terms continue, I think, to be painters, but I mean that doesn't necessarily mean that it's necessarily the most interesting area. I mean, obviously the media arts have grown a lot, so I talk about photography and installation art with various other media like sound, motion and light, but also I think more interestingly, well, there's a lot of audiovisual work as well, mixing music and visuals, but I think the most important area of artists' activity is this idea that today we're not so interested in creating an object necessarily, but we're much more interested in discovering how to communicate, if I'm an artist, how to best communicate what my feelings or what my views are on a determined project. So what we're really interested in is processes, is participation, is involving people in the works, and therefore we get a lot of public works, for example, which are situated in like flash mob situations, but I'm not talking about making a flash mob, but I'm talking about creating an installation in an area, a public area maybe, where people can come and participate and create the result of the work, which the artist is just like infusing the idea, and then people who come will participate in it, and then we'll have a result, and that hopefully will be something that the artist, you know, can communicate to anyone who wants to benefit from this.
What are, in your opinion, the features that a good artist must have?
Yeah, we often think about that because there's obviously one always talks about, does the artist have to be a retreated individual in his studio thinking hard about his subject, maybe being a little bit introverted? I think today, given the incredible importance of media and the facility with which images and we as people can communicate, I think today an artist has a much better chance to emerge and to show himself in the world if he adopts a media which connects with our media technology today. So therefore I'm talking about artists who work again with, let's say, video installations or installation work or participated work or audiovisual and media related work. But that's not to say that there aren't painters and photographers who are doing really good work. So, you know, I've just given an opinion really.
What would you recommend to a young artist, to stay in Italy or to go abroad?
Well, this too. I mean, I'm a foreigner living in Italy, so I consider myself, you know, someone who should be going abroad maybe. But I've obviously decided to stay in Italy. I think, objectively speaking, in terms of organizing your life as an artist, finding contacts, getting maybe money to support your projects, getting a kind of a helpful public institution, in Italy it's really very difficult. So from that point of view, of course it's best to kind of move on and get out. But if you're an artist who's already well organized, then why not? I mean, Italy has so much aesthetic value to offer any artist. So, I mean, from a practical point of view, I think it would be a good idea to go out. But if you're an artist who constantly needs to be confronted with aesthetic values, past and present, this is a fantastic place to be in.
What are your future projects?
Well, I'm definitely staying in Celeste Network. We've grown a lot and we're continuing to grow this year too. So there's a lot of possibility. Where there's possibility, obviously I'm going to stay. So the work will be all within the network to help artists and those others that want to join to basically facilitate their work, facilitate their contact. And therefore, what I'm hoping to improve are two major areas. One is the projects area. We already have a projects area, but it's not well developed in terms of allowing people to exchange skills between each other and how they can contact them to connect to exact projects and therefore allow those projects to come to fruition. So we need to do a lot of work on that. And then the other thing I'm developing, and already this year, we started this year, but I hope to develop more, is to be much more attentive to investigate, let's say, themes which are very pertinent to our everyday life. Because the two prizes, I forgot to say, are not based on any thematic work. They're basically looking at contemporary form, aesthetics. They're not necessarily approaching themes or particular issues. So I would like to work on issues. And so we're going to open up the network to maybe investigate all sorts of contemporary issues which artists are interested in. So we have very specific calls.